pleasure of introducing our host for today's call. This man has got that CFG, and I'm not talking about insurance. I am talking about that cash flow glow.
That's right.
He is leading our charge to $1 billion company from the very front, and he has given us the opportunity and setting the example for us. Please, everybody, get on your feet. Help me welcome our president and CEO, Mr. Andy Albright.
Woo! Leave those right there. Leaderboards are boring as everything for the people's name that are not on them. But if your name is on there, these might be the most exciting aspect. I want to clarify for the non-believers out there. George Andershock wrote 7,500, and it wasn't with one little application that he got lucky. It was 9 applications for $7 grand, and he was the 10th highest weekly producer. Does that make sense? Now, if you already fashion yourself in the bottom 300 or 400 group, this probably doesn't bother you. But if you fashion yourself as a worker and that you can do what anyone else can do, I just want to let you know what they're doing. Does that make sense? Mia knocks out 5 apps for $8 grand. Kimberly Spinelli Youngs, that's 13 apps for $9 grand. $9 grand 500. Not bad. That's in a week. And she's a mere mortal. Everybody knows Eric Belair is a he is a rhyming mere mortal. That wasn't good for Barry. He'd make 18 things rhyme. 12 apps, $9 grand. Janina, 7 apps, $10 grand. Rojas. Y'all know Brian Rojas? I'm going to say something right. I'm just going to have to just rate straight out to Brian. Don't be allergic to money. You can keep writing business and pile it up. It is not a bad thing. Check with your wife. She will say it's okay. Debbie Ben, 10 grand. Marcus Richardson, 11 grand and 11 apps. Woo! And Minerva was 7 apps for 16 grand. I said Wednesday I was freaking out. Y'all thought I lost my mind. I'm telling you, this is proof right here. This is issue paid for January. January. What do you got in January? You got the first day of the year. You got the convention. You got Christmas just happened and we still getting over Christmas, right? You got everything's just getting ready to start. Who works in January? Who? Well, I'll tell you who. Jan Miller issue paid $31,771 in January. Robert Sarge, one of my best friends, wrote issue paid $33,434. Megan Wood just got her insurance license the other day. About 18 months ago, she issue paid $38,733, and I bet you it was 60 or 70 apps. And she takes real good care of her little child, and she hangs out with her mommy, and she posts stuff on Band, and I'm pretty sure she watches a couple of episodes of Law and Order in addition to that. Joseph Dukes, don't be confused. Joseph Dukes, $53,000 issue paid in January. So we'll see what he does in February. I bet you he beats it in February. I'm not kidding, because he's just smoking. Brant and Jill Swindale, $83,478, and Brandon and Ashley Beal with $122,878 in January, boys. That's proof right there. And all the boys, all those men and women pick up $1,000 down in Lakeland in a couple of weeks. Can't wait to see you down there. Come on down. We're going to have a good time. We're looking at some crazy stuff to do. We are currently evaluating this ridiculous yacht that we're going to go out on the third day, that third morning, have dinner. We got some magic. We got a psychological thing that Jeff Bright's going to do. We might have a bunch of food. We might have a bunch of drinks. We might have a bunch of views. It's going to be a good time. So everybody's invited to the training in Lakeland. Let me see what those. I got them right here. And I don't have to be guessing. I do not have it. I got Detroit. I don't have Lakeland. It is on Band. Okay. I'm excited about those numbers. Everybody on here. Oh. Are y'all tracking that Swindell is writing about $200,000 in annuities a week off of final expense clients. These are follow-up appointments he's booking. Because I said, what are you doing? You didn't turn any life apps. He's like, well, I just write like 10 or 12, 15, 30 final expense, and then I go back and go pick up the annuities, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 80,000 every single week. So this 175,000 he did, I bet you, let's see how many it is. That's 3 applications. It's not like he lucked up and found it. That's 3 different annuities he popped in. You with me? It's just crazy talk. He says he's going to do $10 million issue paid in annuities, and I believe him. And by the way, if Terry Swindell sounds familiar, that is his dad, who, by the way, don't need, you know, like when you say need, don't need to work. He's a very, very successful dentist, sold his practice, retired, and watched his children grow up, and one of them is studying to be a surgeon, and another one's doing some kind of crazy profession, crazy good, and then Brant Swindell knocking his nose out. What do you think about this, men? Does it make any sense? It don't make no sense to you. What difference does it make, right? 13,000. How much do I get? We call that a radio station. We call it WIIFM. You ever heard of that? What's in it for me? If you ever wondering what people's thinking, they got 2 things on their mind. Well, whoa, that's not what I meant to say. Across their head, here it goes. Here's what they're saying. Right across their head, there's a flashing light, which is different than the 2 things that's on their mind. A flashing light, here's what it says. Make me feel special, and what's in it for me? That's all they want to know. So let me explain this to you. We got a commission grid that works like this right here. Let me give you one of these things right here. I'll give you 2 of them. Take the... Here you go, take a couple of those. You guys can see them. Flip to this page right here in the center. We call it the centerfold. Whoa, because it's so sexy. Look at here. This commission grid right here starts at 55% and goes up to 120%. So when I say a number, all you got to do is take that percentage times that number. Okay? Now there's one other page that we'll show you. It's a little trick to it. It's called the 100% grid. So flip it over one page up, and there's a 100% grid. It depends on what one page back underneath it. There's a 100% grid right here. It looks like that right there. There you go. If you knew what product it was, you take your number, 55, because that's where you're starting, then you multiply times the grid, then times the number. So if you did the top one, it'd be 0.5. Let's just do it for you. It'd be 0.55 times 0.833 times the number. So if you were Minerva and you did 16,000, your commission will be $7,330 that week. Let's just guess that Minerva ain't at 55%. Does that make sense? So she could be anywhere 80, 90, 100, 115, all the way up to 120. And when she tells you her title, you flip back over to the centerfold and you see what title she is, you know what comp rate she's at. So we ain't whistling Dixie over here, bro. We printing money. Does that make sense? So while I'm going crazy, so with an annuity, you can roughly look at 55% of 5%. So you look at 2.75 times 200,000, she'd be making $5,000 a week on annuities. Now, I'm tell you what, I went to NC State Textile School, and I ain't good with differentials and calculating the area under a curve, but when it comes from adding, dividing, multiplying, subtraction, I am hell on wheels if I got my calculator right in front of me. Does that make sense? Okay, does this help? Yes. You kind of do the grid, so now you can look at those numbers, and you can just do the math and figure out what they make in a week, okay? All right, we got proof. We got proof that this thing is working because people are succeeding. We had the first month, a personal producer won a trip to Thailand in his first month. So you say, well, what's next? Well, I guess he's going to win an extension up into Chiang Mai, from Phuket up into Chiang Mai. That's his next goal. We said, well, what's he going to do after that? Because he's obviously going to hit that in a couple more months. Well, then he's going to try to win a trip for his parents. or his wife's parents to go with them to Phuket that we will pay for. What's next? Well, we will pay for them to go to Chiang Mai also. So he can win up to a trip for 2 couples to all expense paid to Phuket and Chiang Mai, and he is obviously on it. And this is the first month. So I expect, by the way, if anybody don't understand, it's unlimited amount of people can go to Thailand. This is not the top 100, top 32. We can take 600 people if y'all want to do it. All you got to do is act like you got a job. A lot of people act like they retired when they get self-employed. This is a job. This is a job, by the way. You UNCG?
Yes, sir.
My wife went to UNCG. It is UNCG also?
Yes, sir.
Where's my Wilmington guy? Is he supposed to be here?
No.
He not here? Huh?
No, he's not here.
He sent them?
Yes.
I'm delegating stuff. I like this kid. I knew I liked this youngin'. Y'all from around here?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Western, Eastern, Williams?
I'm from Solar City, so I went to Jordan Matthews High
Jordan
School.
Matthews, got it.
I'm from Pofftown, North Carolina, and I went to Reagan High School.
All right, good
I'm
deal.
from around here.
Reagan. Is that guy who used to be a preacher? Or president?
Yeah, president.
President, yeah. All right, y'all tracking with me? Everybody on board? All right, here we go. Act like you got a job. My daddy said, get out of bed and go to work, boy. Are you getting ready to meet a switch? If y'all don't know what a switch is, y'all don't know what a yellow bell is. And if you don't know what a yellow bell switch is, somebody was talking about a prescription for ADD. I said, that's a yellow bell switch right there. You tag them one time when they ain't paying attention. You not pay attention, hit tag them with a yellow bell one more time. Next thing you know, you got more attention than dadgum the general. Yes, sir. If you ain't never felt that, you don't know what I'm talking about. That's an old-timey medication. That's what my daddy raised me with. It's called work. I'd never forget, Sunday morning, I was laying there watching cartoons. Daddy said, get up. I said, Sunday. We don't work on Sunday. He said, them posts ain't going to get put in them holes by themselves. Get up. I said, all right. Because I've been trained. So what if I hadn't been trained like that? I don't know. Good luck to you. But we got to act like we got a job. These people that are cranking out these numbers, they don't get distracted by the wife. They don't get distracted by the mama. They don't get distracted by the president, Obama. And what's that woman that was standing behind Trump? They don't get distracted by nothing. You with me? They just work. They worker bees. I don't want to know to be a worker bee. I don't want to know to be known as lazy. Well, actually, I don't mind that. I just don't want to be known as broke. That would get on my nerves. I'm like, God. Okay. These people are worker bees. Now, I have got some crazy psychological stuff to talk to you about, and I don't want to confuse you, because all you got to do is get your butt up and go to work and go find one dadgum person that'll work, and you can make stupid money, okay? But given the choice between happy and stupid money, I would pick happy every single time. Forget being rich. I want to be happy. I have had people come up to me and go, I don't say that. I want to be rich. I say, all right, do whatever you want to do. I want to be happy and rich. That makes sense? Happy and then 2 choices, poor or rich. After I'm happy, I want to be rich. Does that make sense? But given a choice between happy and rich, just hands down happy. Okay? So, this joker, Sinek, wrote this book called Start With Why. And so a lot of this information comes out of this. Feel free to order you a copy off of Amazon. We got them in our store. I think ours are usually about 15 cents cheaper than Amazon, and we plan it that way. If you want to get them out of the store, it's up to you. You get it off of Amazon, but you don't. A lot of y'all got those books stacked up. You need to read them instead of just order them. You know. Hey, by the way, one comment. Shout out to my library goers. Y'all crack me up. You can't mark up your book if you take it from the library. Okay. All right. So if you want to be happy, you got to have a why. You got to have a happy place. This is very, very tricky. So, like I said, I don't want to confuse you. Book 20 appointments, or I think something's wrong with you, and not that my opinion of you matters, but book 20 appointments, come hell, high water, hair lips a governor, we got a windy day, it's pretty outside. You better book 20 appointments, by God. Does that make sense? Now, you want to be fanatical, it's 30 appointments. People say, well, how many do I have to sell? Don't you worry about how many sell. You book the appointments, we'll worry about how you sell later. Does that make sense? It's a job. It's a job. You call these people that already replied, you book an appointment. It's a job. Do the job, you're going to make 6 figures. If you are really, really, really poor, pitiful, and not smart, bad personality, bad breath, will get you a tic-tac. You're going to make 100,000 if you book 20 more this week. You cannot not make 100 grand. I have not met anybody that dumb. I had one woman, she was that dumb for 2 months, but all of a sudden she come alive after 2020. It was amazing. Don't nobody raise their hand in here, okay? It was more than one. There was a couple guys. As a matter of fact, Swindell went 0 for 20 when he started. No. He went 0 for 19 when he started, okay? I am telling you, it's a 100,000 minimum job. Should be 180 just by running 20 appointments. Well, how many hours does that take? Less than 40 is what all the top producers told me. Less than 40. Unless you're traveling. Like if you book all your appointments in Miami because you want to run your appointments in the warm, it might take you, because you count your travel time, now it might be a 50 or 60 hour week. But if you do it where you can drive 3, 4, 5 hours around, it's a 40-hour job. Okay, let's talk about, so I'm going to do the psychology. Please God, don't lose track of we got a job and then we got an opportunity. Opportunity is hiring other people. The challenge with building a side hustle is finding other people that have job mentality. Because the people that ain't working and won't work and ain't planning on working and don't want to work and their wife's working, it's hard to build an opportunity. So what you got to do is you got to keep your job until you find other people. That's the side hustle. Your business op is finding other people. Your job is just to crank out those numbers. Jeez, you got a job. That's how you get paid. Don't want to get fired. Don't want to get laid off. Don't want to get a pay cut. You got to do a job. Okay, so now I'm going to do the psychology stuff. Our why, my why is pie. Get a piece of the pie. Okay? Pie is on my ring. It's on the door. It's on the windows. It's on our papers. It's prosperity, inspiration, and eternity. Okay? What's prosperity? Albright likes to have some money coming in. What's the inspiration? Albright likes to spend his money. What's the eternity? We're going to have to live with what we did for eternity. And eternity is estimated to be longer than life on earth. Life on earth is but a whiff, then we got eternity. When you marry those 3 things, is my why. Okay, so let's talk about your why. And people ask me, I'm trying to find my why. I said, come here, I'll tell you why. I'll tattoo it right on your head, right off of here. Right, tap right there, just press it in. Because you're the same way. Everybody's the same. It's called human beings. I've heard people say, them people up there up north, they don't care nothing. They different. They just talk different. That's all it is. I've been to Zimbabwe. They the same way. It's people the same everywhere. The core is the same. That's why you call them human beings. Puppy dogs, not the same. We will buy a pet health matching account before we will buy a human health matching account. That is true. But that don't mean puppy dogs can remember what happened last week and they sure can't tell the other puppy dog what happened. But humans can. That's why there's prosperity, inspiration, eternity. You with me? I mean, I'm not going to get into that debate, but I just want to go with that why. Okay, remembering your why. All right, here's the deal. Listen to this stat. 80% of American business owners believe they have reached their financial goals. However, the same 80% don't feel like they're successful. That don't make no sense, does it? You ask them, have you achieved your goals? Yeah, I'm making 100 grand. Yeah, I'm making 200,000. Yeah, I did what I want to do. Do you feel like you're a success? No, I just don't feel, I don't feel like I've done anything. I'm just, I don't know. I just feel like, I'm just me. That's the problem. It ain't happy. Last thing I want to be is rich and sad, rich and just pitiful. Y'all tracking with me on that? I don't want to be rich and not like a kid. That don't make no sense. That's where most business people are. You don't want to end up like that. 80% of owners know what they do and what they did to make money. And they know how they did it. But most of them can't tell you why they did it. But they knew why they did it. I promise you, they knew why they did it. I didn't want to live in my house with my mama because my mama asked me questions like, who are you going with? Who's going to be there? What time you going to be back? Are you going to be drinking? And I didn't like that. So I worked hard enough to get my butt in an apartment and get out of there. So that was your why. Does that make sense? That's what your why was. Oh, lost my ring there temporarily. Whew, felt naked. All right. They forgot their why. This book says start with why. I'm telling you to remember your why. Because let me tell you something. Here's what happens. I don't even know if I'm going to move on. I'm going to come back to what happens to that guy who leaves. He leaves because his mommy is driving him freaking crazy, and he goes out. I'm going to tell you what happens to him. If he forgets his why, he's going to be back in the house. I'm just telling you, that's what happens. That's why I was telling Rojas. He texted me something. That's what I was trying to tell him. Don't be allergic. He said, I checked with my wife. I am authorized to keep money and pile it up. Good job, Brian. Good job. Way to go, Crystalline. Crystalline's his wife. Okay, listen to this. Achievement is something you actually reach or attain, like a goal. That's what they're successful. See, they don't understand what achievement is. It's tangible, clearly defined. Some people call them SMART goals. Y'all heard that, right? Simple, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time. The relevant one gets some people. People don't know what relevant means. Y'all know what simple is, right? Simple, like I want to make $1 million a year. I want to make $200,000 a year. And then measurable, well, we can measure, 200,000, right? And then we do it within 12 months. Attainable, if you ain't never made 200, if you ain't never made 50, why are you talking about 200? We ought to be shooting for 100. That's something that ends. It's something that happens. The relevant is this. Does it make you laugh? Does it make you cry? Does it make you want to slap somebody's upside the head and knock them in the next week? Or does it make you just want to laugh so hard and cry you're so happy? If it don't neither one of those, your goal is worthless. It's got to be relevant, and it's got to be a timetable. You say, I got to grow 20% by the end of the year. I got to get on a 100% run rate by the end of the year. You got to have a timetable, okay? All right. Versus, okay, so you can, when you pursue what you want, you are becoming rich. And most people, listen to this, most people don't realize how much they like the becoming. Because the becoming, you might have heard it on a radio show or self-help or YouTube, it's the journey. People love the fight. They love the journey. They love it. But they don't know that. That's where you become happy. Okay. Success, on the other hand, when we say, have you reached your financial goals? Yeah. You feel like you're successful? No. I just don't. Why? You've hit your numbers. Because success is a feeling. When you understand what your why is. So now it's way easier to be happy. So becoming, it's easy to be happy, but once you get there, you're jacked up. But if you have a clear focus on when your why is, you stay happy. Okay, now, let me go back to slide one more time, Amber. I do want to tell you this. Rich people are real good on achievement, not so good on success. Because achievement is due people. Jeff Bright says, your daddy gave you your achievement. It's called a yellow bell bush. He would work. It's a working man. So do is up at the top, feel is down at the bottom. You know what's easier? To do your way into a feel. But it's harder to feel your way into a do. So poorer people usually don't do or feel. Richer people usually do and then feel, but a lot of times they forget why and then they lose the feel. But they still got the money, honey. Does that make sense? In other words, say, I don't want to be rich and then lose my happiness. Well, I always wanted to get rich and then we'd find out if I could keep my happiness or not. And so far, woohoo, woohoo, woohoo. Get that screen back on me and off of that slide.
You're on there.
You understand what I'm saying? People say like, is it worth it? I go like, I don't know if it will be for you, but me, I'm about to jump out of my skin. I go, feel on the back of my head. It's just tingling right now. My arms, look at that, brother. I'm not cold. I'm fired up. I don't even know if I ought to tell y'all that. I'm going to tell you. Because sometimes my wife's watching. Hey, sweetie, I love you, baby. I said last night, I said, baby, guess how much we made? Guess how much in the bank? You know what she said? She lay on that couch, dogs all up over top of her, wrapped up like she thought I couldn't get in them covers if I wanted to. I said, look at here. Look at here how much we made. She looked at me and she said, money ain't everything. And I looked back at her and I said, I know, sweetie, it's not. She said, give me more of it. I started laughing so hard. Just after I got home last night, she said, money and everything. And I said, I know it. She said, give me more of it. I started laughing. And then she said, ha ha, I made you laugh. I said, but some people not like that. So I'm giving you the chance. I'm trying to tell you ahead. One, you can be rich, and two, I'm telling you can be happy. Now, explain this to you. I was happy when I didn't have no money. Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you what. You give me some of that cornbread that my wife makes and put some of them pinto beans in a crock pot, put a piece of meat in there and some ham hock in there and top of all that stuff seasoned right there. That stuff make your tongue slap your brains out. Put a chunk of butter. I didn't need no money to be happy, but I needed the money to get a Maybach. You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Tomorrow morning we're going to our beach house on the ocean. We call that our happy place. I needed money for that. I didn't need money to be happy, but I did need money to call my beach the happy place. Does that make sense? You see, it's just a mathematical equation. Y'all tracking with me on this? All right. Next slide. What should happen when building a business? I still got some good stuff for you. Y'all just hang on to your hat. How much time we doing all right? All right. All right. What should happen when building a business? We become confident in what we do. That's called to do. All right. That's the 8 Steps book. This is what we do. Number 1, personal use. I was so embarrassed the other day when I asked people to hold up the HMA card. I ain't even going to ask y'all to do it because I don't even want to know if you got it. I kind of do, but I hate to ask. I don't want to get depressed if y'all ain't got it. The number 1 step is personal use.
What?
Me. This.
Oh, sorry.
See the card? See the card? That's personal use. I got another one. The number 1 step is personal use. If any of y'all donuts don't have life insurance, I'm going to tap you upside your head. The only thing you got an excuse not to have yet is med supplements because you ain't old enough. I understand that. But if you ain't got an IUL, I'm going to whip your tail. Does that make sense? Number 1, so you go to this book. This is what we do. This is what we do. You can't do these simple. I got big type and little words. It's 8 steps. Guaranteed 6-figure. Never single one time ever seen it fail. Ever. Never. Nobody's coming to me. I did every one of them. I'll be like, all right, let's look at this number 1. And about 3 minutes into it, they go, I give up. I said, you didn't do it. It's not complicated. I can just get you on. So this is what we do. Number 2, we become an expert in how we do it. That's the Millionaire Making Manual. Who's up there? Will? Is that you? Grab hold of them green books. Let me show them what the green book looks like. This is how we do it. I mean, this is how we do it. The Millionaire Maker Manual. It's every single thing. Guarantee you do all the house stuff, you're at $80,000 a month. Never seen it even come close to failing. People go like, hey, I'm just a few things I'm not doing. I'm not making 80 grand. I'm like, you ever tried to open a safe with leaving out one of the number digits turned wrong? You got to put all the numbers in. This is not an option to make 80 grand. You can screw around and make 400,000 or 500,000 and not do all this, but it's going to be hard to make $1 million without doing this. But you can't fail making $1 million when you do it. Last, become a complete when we remember why. That's the circle of you. Guess what? That's that white book up there, Will. Yeah, there you go. Throw it on back here. Don't throw it. We got it right here. I got Amber had me one right here. The circle of you. That is the complete when we figure out the why. That's when it's all about you getting you right. When the man got right, the world seemed like it was good. You ever heard that before? When the man got right, the world. People said, world's all jacked up. I always laugh when they say that. I go, yeah, I know how to fix it. It's like, I don't want to bring children into a world like this. I wish I could have 12 more. Except for one thing. They're dragging around talking, asking questions all the time. I ain't listening to all that again. But I hope y'all bring them into the world. Propagate. Go forth and multiply. Why? I was thinking the other day, some of these youngins, how old are you?
20.
That joker wasn't even born when I started doing this. Woo! Y'all got to have some more babies. You see what I'm saying? They making more agents, more prospects every day, Bo. Bring them on. What a world we live in. When the man gets right, when the woman gets right, the world seems awesome. But when he's jacked up, when she's jacked up, they seeing life through crappy lens. They don't see opportunity, they see stupidity. Here we go right here. Every single time it comes back to this, the success coin. What do you want and how do you get it? Let me tell you what most people, what's your name?
Owen.
What's yours?
Garrett.
Garrett, here's what most people say. What's wrong? Who am I going to blame? What's wrong? That's called a failure coin. I ain't made one of them yet. I've been thinking about it. Success coin is what do I want and how do I get it? What do I want and how do I get it? Sound like a redneck. Hold my beer and I'll show you. You see what I'm saying? But that's the man getting right. What do I want? How do I get it? And then all of a sudden you're a dog in a hunt. All of a sudden you're becoming. All of a sudden you're in a journey. And when you up in there, you ain't got no fleas. You ain't got no worries. You're just after the destination. It's a process. It's a bite. It's a battle. It's a game. Nobody likes when the game's in. You say, I do if my team's ahead. No, we don't. We like the game. We do like to win, but we like the game. That's the part where you just love. That's why you play another game. Because you might lose. If you just want to win, you just sit there on your win. Just sit right there on your win. I got my win. You want to play it again? Nope, I got my win. We play again because we want to play again. That's why we do it. I told you it's a bunch of psychological mumbo jumbo up in here. I could have just told you the first thing, get you up out of bed and start making some phone calls. Don't be scared of the phone. You scared of money or you scared of work? That's the psychological solution to it. But these people tell me, these consultants, they say, you need to explain it to them. I said, all right, I'll explain it to them. Okay, here's the way it works. Next slide. The single greatest challenge of any organization. I say this, and people, they think I don't know what I'm talking about when I say the biggest problem I got. I'm just telling you, Scotty, the biggest problem I got is ambition. Call it success. In other words, they get successful, and then what happens? Because success can happen at 80 grand. Success, I had one boy, he gets successful at 40,000. I'm like, oh my God. He said, what are you worried about? I'm worried about what's going to happen next. It's like I was telling Pam Parrish this morning. Here's what they do. Here's what they do, Pam. Where's she at? Here what they do, Pam. There she go, right there. Here what they do. There you go. Where's my... Where are you at? Where are you at?
Keep going to your left.
You're going to have to lean in. All right. Here's what happens. They get a little money in the pocket. They paying their bills. And they're successful. John Maxwell told me this one day. I don't know if y'all know who he is. He wrote a lot of leadership books. He said, Albright, failure is easy to make it through. Success is where a lot of people lose it. I was like, how the heck? I sure would like to try that. But here's what happens. He's successful making 40,000 or 80,000, and then his wife gets breast cancer. His child gets run over. His dog gets beat up by this beaver was crossing his yard. The dog jumped on the beaver, and the beaver fought back, got them big teeth in his neck, cut that joker up about 800 stitches, and then he wanted to let the dog die. His wife wanted to save the dog, and then we got a marital disagreement. You know why? Because when he was making 70,000, 80,000, he was paying all his bills, he didn't let no money pile up over here in the bank. He didn't have no credit pile up. He just stayed right there where he was comfortable, successful. And then what happened? I'm sure y'all understand my lead bill. We can let that, y'all can let it ride. I understand I had a situation with a dog, and that beaver got a hold of him, and I had to mortgage a house to pay the dog bill. I said, well, that's because you didn't have no pet health matching account. That's the problem right there. You remember that personal use part? You screwed them on that too. You missed 3 or 4 things out of 8. Does it make sense? But that success got him. Success got him. All right. The goal to ensure the measurement of the what, the objective of the how, the clarity of the why. Like if you want to kill it, you need the measurement of the what, the objective of the how, and the clarity of the why. And that's so big time. I'm gonna simplify it for you. All right, y'all get ready for this. Get your mind right. Comfort is a drug. Once you get used to it, it becomes addicting. Give a weak man consistent sex, good food, cheap entertainment, and he'll throw his ambitions right out the window. The comfort zone is where the dreams go to die. That's what I'm talking about right there. That's what they do. It's unbelievable. How do you keep away from that? Here's how you keep away from that. The measurement of the what, baby? It's called a leaderboard, booger. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm trying not to say, right? It's called a leaderboard, buddy. It's called a leaderboard, bum. Does that make sense? That's the measurement. The objective of the how. Are you executing the basics? Are you getting referrals and ERSs? How come you ain't moving to annuities? Because you ain't doing the how. Well, I didn't need to do an annuity. I was paying all my bills. That covered the comfort zone earlier. You see what I'm saying? If you don't execute the basics and pick up annuities and med subs and med advantages, HMAs, you ain't doing the how. If you do the how, the money gonna keep coming up. The next thing you got to worry about is if you forget why you was doing it. That's where you got to get a piece of the pie. You got to understand we're going to die one day, and for some of you it's going to be sooner than the other ones. But every one of you going to die, and the measurement is going to be what you did for eternity. Does that make sense? And while before eternity, you should have been looking at prosperity. That's called a beach house, buddy. That's called a second home. That's called your name on the university. That's the prosperity. That's the inspiration. And then we got the eternity. See, that's all in the what, all of the pie is the why. That keeping the why and the how and the what in line is how you get ridiculously stinking rich people. Keeping that aligned is where it is. Staying out of the comfort zone, because that's where stuff dies. The reason so many small businesses fail is thinking that job mentality, execution of your duties is followed by passion. Listen to me. Listen to me. You think the reason I work is because I'm passionate. I'm passionate because I'm passionate. I work because it's my job. I got a job. And that's why people fail. They start thinking, well, I'm just not as passionate about it as I was. That's because you hit your comfort zone. Pop! That's what you want to do, but you can't do it. So he'll get all mad at you. You overreacted. I underreacted. I had something right here, but I didn't do it. I'm telling you, Bo, you know what I'm talking about? You hear what I'm telling you is, they think, let me tell you something. Mike Krzyzewski at Duke, he ain't confused. He ain't confused. You see him out there doing that? If you read his lips, he's saying something, Bo. That joker right there, that's what I was talking to Kevin Keats yesterday. I had him on Facebook. He's coach at NC State. I said, how come you don't say that stuff? How come you don't say that stuff Krzyzewski says? He said, joker's 70-something. You hear me? I was talking to him on it right here. I was talking to him on FaceTime. I was clicking it, talking to him. He said he's 70-something. He don't care if his son don't come up. He gonna do what he gonna do till he die. You with me? What I'm telling you is, he's all in. Wooden was all legends. Legends are all in. They get that whole concept. They don't stop. Jordan's got it, Bo. He got it going on. What happens, people start out with a burning why. Got to get out of my mama's house. Got to get me a Corvette. Got to get me a Mustang. You with me? And they just go like this right here, and then they get comfortable. And they call that the split in the book. Split happens, but not always, if you protect yourself against it. And I see it happening all the time. I see it happening 80 grand, 200 grand, 400 grand, $1 million. I've seen it happen in $1 million too. People just stop. I've seen it in different industries. They just stop. Why? Because the split happened. Why? Forgot why they was doing it. They forgot what the plan was. They forgot what the objective was. They forgot about the pie. They started looking at success. I'm successful. How do you feel about it? I feel okay. Do you feel like you feel like you're a successful person? You're happy? Nah, I don't know. I just feel like what? That's what happened. Okay. For a business to survive, the passionate vision, why, it needs to be a structured mission of how, and for that structure, how to exist, it needs to be a process of what to create the expectation. So here's the way it works, okay? Come back to me, I can talk my hands. It's why, this is the why, then we go into the, then we go into the how, then we go into the what. So let me explain something to you. I ain't never want to be no insurance agent. I ain't never want to be no Amway distributor. I ain't never want to be no goat salesman. I ain't never want to be no radio show host. I sure didn't want to build this big magazine book called Taste of Alamance. I put together Taste of Alamance. You know why? Because I had a why. I didn't give a crap on the what. It looked easy to me. I put it together. I started printing money, baby. I had books, needed money. Printed books, sold them for money. But that ain't what I was thinking. Let me tell you something. Mr. Adam Katz, Mr. Stephen Davies, these are my boys. If we change the what, they ain't changing the why, but we can change the what. That's how come we can do HMAs. That's how we can go med subs, because we got a why. That's out there on the fringe. That's a what. We got the what. We got the what. I mean, we got the why, we got the how, and then we got the what. How? What you mean, how? Personal use. That's how. What you mean? Recruit somebody. That's how. Get off your butt and book some appointments. That's how. Can you see? And no matter what the what, the how gonna work. Don't matter what the what, the how gonna work. That's why we don't worry about the what as much as we worry about the how. Does that make sense? And then we go to why. Well, the why is the core. That's what keeps us going. But if we get focused on the what, then we get all jacked up. And it's another split. All kinds of splits happen in business. You keep it going like this right here, baby, that's where it keeps going up. But you got to keep the why in mind. All right. Warning, warning, warning. Be careful to not let the why go fuzzy. This will happen when you start to split why. You exit pie. From how you do the business, sell, recruit, and build, we help guard against by marrying the why and the how. With our 8 core values, house book, these values, and practicing them. You hear doctors talking about practicing. That's because they're still practicing to be a doctor. Lawyers are practicing. We are practicing business builders. We practice the basics. When we start getting in the comfort zone, that is where dreams die. That's when we become satisfied. That's why we become complacent. That's where the accomplishment stops. And I'm saying, please, God, it's the toughest thing we deal with. And that's why, let me tell you what I'm excited about more than anything. There's a lot of names on this leaderboard that I don't know, and people that just got their insurance, and they're smoking the people that lost their why. You say, can you get your why back? You can get your why back, just get you some pie. But you got to dwell on it. You got to think about it. That's why I carry this coin around. Because whatever you think about and what you focus on is what's going to grow. And if you focus on the why, that's going to drive you how and you what. You burn that why, then it burns into the how and it burns into the what. And it comes as a package deal, just like you. You got your God, you got your wife, you got your country, you got your business, you got your kids, you got your money. It's called the circle of you, baby. And if you keep it all together, you will start to get stuff that you didn't even dream of. And then all of a sudden, a new dream emerges. Dreams don't stop. People do. We all make mistakes. But what am I good at? Getting my ass back on the horse. I'm going to tell you what, Bo. I have went 2 days now of spitting out any kind of food that tastes good because I have attained maximum weight again. My ass is going to get back on a diet. I am the king of screwing up and getting back on the horse. How about you? You going to get back on the horse? If you ain't on, if Megan and Janina and you people out there and Evan and Rojas, you people that ain't ever fell off, don't fall off, Bo. If don't fall off to you, let me tell you something. If you're going to start having problems, let me suggest do it at about 2.6 million, 3.1 million. The whole world changes. You can drop down $1 million and then say, ho, 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 and you get back on the horse and take off again. Don't be stopping in those 700,000, 800,000. No. You want to get up there, I'm just telling you, I've studied it. It's where you need to stop, on up in the multi-million. I love y'all. I hope this helped. Alliance Nation, you are released to book 30 appointments this week. Let's see who can beat February, because we got fanatics giving cash away, and all kinds of leaderboards are posted on Band. You can go check them out now. We love y'all. We're going to finish early so y'all can start booking appointments. Go get you some.